Hi, this is Carol Wachniak. I'm here to share a little bit of my story and hopefully it will benefit someone. Coach at the cellular level, transformational healing in mind, body, and soul. I put together this little PowerPoint presentation for the intention of educational and informational purposes only. I'm relating my experience when I was given up for dead, sent home to die in 2003. And what I learned changed my life. And it has benefited so many other people as well. I thought I knew. I knew really nothing until I heard these words. I was looking for answers to my prayers. When an answer came, I thought it would be something else. I discovered life-changing moments may come to you in the still small whispers of your heart. I heard these words, coach at the cellular level, while I was in the intensive care unit on Christmas Eve of 2002. I didn't know what they meant. There was no one else in the room, but I heard the words loud and clear. The problem is that I wasn't communicating on the same level as the prayer. I did not know what those words meant. I I know that there are 3 barriers to learning. When I heard those words, I felt like my mind just split apart. I felt like I had a split personality almost. Communication is key to understanding or learning, so I wasn't understanding. And there are 3 points that cause misunderstanding or prevent us from learning something well. The first was a misunderstood word. It is the most common cause of upset in homes, relationships, or businesses than any other. By using the same definition of each word, we improve our ability to understand each other. Except for I did not have the definition for coaching at the cellular level. So I had a blind spot or lack of mass. For example, if you're visiting a farm for the first time and the farmer tells you to go out and fix his tractor, but you've never seen a tractor before, you have lack of mass. Well, I had lack of mass. I had never seen or understood what coach at the cellular level was. When they sent me home to die on January 4th and told me to get my paperwork in order, I was either doing a cliff dive or a leap of faith. But it was definitely that the gradient was too steep for me. Because if the Western medicine doctors had given up on me, then what was I to do? It's like asking a newborn baby to do quantum physics. And I certainly felt like that newborn baby. And I didn't know what quantum physics meant. I didn't know quantum meant cellular. I felt overwhelmed. For me, I had all 3 barriers. Coach at the cellular level. I had heard these words while praying when I was in the intensive care unit, that's for sure. I had the biggest problem in communication, the misunderstood word. I had no clue as to what these words meant, but I heard them. I had lack of mass. I liked learning, but I really never saw my own cell, or one that was related to me, much less coach one. The gradient was definitely too steep. Biology, earth science, chemistry, physics, quantum physics, all of it was definitely over my head. And as you can see, I felt like that person laying on the ground. I was too weak to do anything, too overwhelmed, too terrified. I would whirled apart. Hopelessness. I did not know how I was going to go from the illness to the planet of wellness. When the doctors give up on you and send you home and tell you to get your paperwork in order, and when you have 8 children You don't know what to do. The Western medicine was my answer until I heard those words. So, what did I do when I heard these words on the radio, March 23rd? I called the phone number and I went by faith. I heard words of hope, love, and joy. God loved me. God created me. God created living foods to transform me back to his vision of health in my mind, my body, and my soul. For me, in the tiniest of details, all the way down to the cellular level, my mind exploded when this doctor shared this with me, an alternative health doctor. Things were explained to me in the simplest of terms, and I needed it simple because I was too weak and sick and tired and terrified, full of fear, to understand it any other way. What is bioelectricity? Because that's what I heard there. Electrical potentials and currents produced by occurring within living organisms, plants, animals, and the human cell membrane, which is typically about 50 millivolts. Electric activity in living tissue is a cellular phenomena. Examples: follicles in the thyroid may be as high as 60 millivolts. In special structures, like the inner ear, about 80 millivolts, and your heart, 90. No one told me about bioelectricity before. I didn't know that living food has bioelectricity. I didn't know my heart was like my car engine. And if the car battery died, you plug it into an electrical source. I didn't know I was supposed to be consuming things with electricity. And I didn't even know what they were. I had gone 96 days in only water before I had my first seed milk. Because if I ate anything cooked, my blood pressure would go to 290 over 190 within seconds. And I was allergic to everything, even the burn off from the IV tube for the IV solution. So on April 9th, I had my first seed milk. And I didn't react to it. I wasn't allergic to it. I didn't know that living food, you can't be allergic to living food. By June 9th, I was on vacation in Spokane with my family. My understanding of how food interacts at the cellular level was completely upside down. I didn't know that cooked food makes dead bodies. Raw food, you survive, but living food, you thrive. I called the seed milk this is my heaven smoothie. It was my manna. It's perfect cellular milk. It's like breast milk for the cell. This saved my life. I'm a wife and a mother of 8. Now grandmother of 6. I'm alive because of this. Oh, my aha moment. Living food restores living cells. I discovered with quantum physics that there's a moment between thoughts. If you What is the thought before your next thought? I didn't know there was this space where you're kind of with God. And that the next layer after that is a frequency. And there has to be an input in the cell To assimilate the nutrients means to take it in or absorb all the way into each living cell. Cellular breast milk foods like seed milk keep the enzyme money in the bank account. And I didn't know that the cell actually is just like an electrical circuitry. You had a ground outlet or a neutral. You had to output. You had to have an input, and you had to have a source. When do we jumpstart with electrical charge in our cells? When is it ignited in us? I didn't know that the cell is 98% oxygen and that the sodium and the potassium exchange within the cell creates electricity. I didn't know that when I drank my seed milk that it increased and generated more electricity and they got the cells moving and they can communicate better. Duplicate the environment. I didn't know my goal and my awareness was that every day there's a brand new baby cell being created. And they need the number one nutrient, oxygen, which then helps create the pump for the electricity to power the cells so your eyes can see, your heart can breathe, your heart can pump, your lungs can breathe, that you can run and jump and play and create. That cell is there to create. How do you go about creating the environment? I didn't know that I needed water and my pH and oxygen, and I didn't know about cellular communication and cellular food and the cellular environment and cellular exercise. I didn't know that my blood was sludged. And the probable cause was protein. Too much animal protein, very low enzymes, poor protein digestion, dehydration, and lack of oxygen. I had all of these symptoms, all of them. I didn't know that my lymphatic system wasn't moving, that it also was sludged, and it's the very thing that I needed it to be was strong. I didn't know what cellular exercises I needed to do. This is only just a few little samples of what I learned over the last 9 years. And here, in just a few slides, I wanted to share this with you. The seed milk has so much more to share, and so do I. Coach at the Cellular level is now a training program. I've taken the 9 years that I invested into restoring my health to help others restore theirs. The information's available. The research has been done over and over. Nobel Prize winners have won awards after awards over the information that I just shared with you. But I thought I knew, and I really didn't know until I heard these words, coach at the cellular level. So for more information, you can email me at seedmilk@gmail.com. Thank you, Carol.